Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make three, could be birthday cards, could be thinking of you cards. So the first one is Hey Cupcake. Then we're going to add a happy birthday bird. And then we're going to add a Owl Winter card. These can be certainly used for a winter birthday. I have a winter birthday and I'd love to receive this card. This would be lovely. And I color coordinated the three cards. So the crafter may decide to make all three. Maybe you'll give them all to the same person through the year. Maybe you'll just have them on hand to give when your heart desires. Make sure you like and subscribe my channel and never miss a tutorial. Thanks so much for your purchase in the Silhouette store and/or my Etsy store. And stay with me, let's make them together. Welcome to my channel and the instructions on how to put together this adorable Hey Cupcake card. You could use it for a birthday, you could use it for thinking of somebody, a love note. Also, a little bit later on in the video, I'm going to show you how to make this bird happy birthday card and this winter owl possibly happy birthday card. I have a winter birthday and this would be so fun to receive from somebody. So let's get right into starting this card. I'm going to pop dot the final card onto the base of my pink. But right now I'm just going to glue stick, or I could use my fabulous Zig pen, which I really love. And these come in many sizes, many different sizes. So you could always just look that up, Zig pen. I can put a link in my description. These are my period and my comma. Well, it's not the period, but it's the exclamation point. So the first thing I want to do is put the lettering on. So let's take the cupcake apart. And I'm going to put the cupcake together also here with pop dots so that it'll be 3 pop dots, right? So the cupcake, the white, and then the pink. So the first thing I want to do is use my tweezers. And these are tweezers that stay together. Oh, I got a lot of glue on my pen here. All right, let's start that again. So I'm just gonna come in here. And the reason I use the tweezers is because then I don't get glue on my fingers. And then I could use the tweezers also to position anything that might seem a little bit off. So I don't know if you can see on the video, what I have is the shape of the letters and where they go. So let me just use the pink behind it so that you can see me actually doing it. And it looks like my pen is actually leaking, which is a little bit weird. So I think I need a scrap piece of paper just to sort of put the dots down in case I don't want to get too much glue on my lettering. That is not that one, it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to build this guy. Put that on the side. And I'm going to put the base on first. And you can see everything fits around the curve. And I thought I had a tape. Hold on. I also love to use these adhesive tape guns. They're easy, they stick well. You could use a glue stick. Whatever you have on hand, I always recommend using what you have instead of always going out and buying something new, although as a crafter, I do love new things. I'm actually going to use this again because I want to put the glue down. On my cupcake. I'm going to cap that because it's a little weird. So I'm always going to put down the first side, and then the shape will always fall into where it's supposed to go because it's stiff paper. Yep. This is my undercolor. Again, shape to shape. And then this is my overcolor, which will form the under. No. This will form the cupcake hairdo. Okay, I'm gonna put the eyeballs on. I'm just gonna position those in, and then my little mouth. And you can decide higher, lower. I like it kind of cute to the eyeballs. So I'm just going to put a little glue here. And I'm not gluing down the eyelashes. So I think it would be fun to leave them a little open. Now I am going to use my tweezers for the eye. And that goes in right sort of in the middle. And my main thing is that I want to make sure that my highlight of my eyeball is in the same direction. Oh, there's my little cupcake guy. Him also there. So funny. And I'm going to use these little square pop dots. What this is going to do for me is that it's really going to leave the arms sort of open. If you're mailing the card, you might have to put a little support in there, but I don't want to glue it down. I'm really just positioning the body over the card. And then I'm going to pop dot this. Because the border is a little bit thin, I love using the strips on the side of the actual pop dots. So I'm going to use these really off the corners. And then I'll pull this one out. If I didn't do a little bit extra on the corners, the card would sag in a kind of a weird way. I don't want any sagging. And I'm going to put some dots on my lettering. question remains, do I need dots behind my cupcake? Because remember, he's already raised, and I think not. I think that would be fabulous. All right, so let's take these covers off. And what I like about creating images for you to make greeting cards is I really love using color coordinating colors. So you'll see in the next 2 episodes of the Happy Birthday bird and then the winter owls that I've really used consistently the colors that match this Hey Cupcake. And of course, you don't have to send them all to the same person, but I really enjoy color coordinating my art. So then I said before that then I was going to pop dot this onto here. I need to print a new card. My base, which was pre-made. I didn't cut this from the file, but I realized that I need to cut this from the file so that it fits beautifully in the envelope. And I will double check that. So I'm ready to put this on my base. And I had suggested before that I didn't have to add anything to the arms or legs, but I think I am going to. I'm just going to cut some of these squares in half, and then I'm going to use the tape to put the card down and not make it a 3rd layer. You could if you wanted to. I'd probably recommend if you're going to do as the 3rd layer, meaning attaching the pink to the card, that again, if you mailed it, you want to put some sort of like support over it so the card doesn't get squished. If you're going to just hand deliver it or wrap it with a present, I would say you can add the 3rd layer comfortably. So I'm just going to use my tape here. Fun. So for the happy birthday card with a little bluebird, my recommendation is always when you take it off the mat that you sort of take it off in order, just so you can remember. You can always, of course, look at the imagery on the file, but I'm gonna put the happy birthday on last. And yes, I do have the little dot for the eye. I always try to make sure that I have the dot. It's the first thing I typically lose. So I'm going to take off my flower areas, my birdie wing, and this. So really the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to the base. And I'm not going to pop dot this in because I think what I'm going to do is put the branch on flat. So this is the branch. And it really supports everything underneath it. Flat, and then pop dot the bird and the flowers. So let's do that. And I think I'm going to use my Zig pen. And I'm going to use a different one because I feel like the other one in the first half of the video was like bleeding all over the place. I'm not really sure why. And the reason I want to get the glue almost all into here is because I really want the card to lay flat and not pull up in any kind of weird way. So again, my always recommendation is find a corner and then drop it in, let it go in naturally, and then you can press it down. And now we're going to do the same thing with this, but I'm actually going to glue this part first, and then I'll add the glue because I feel like it's a little delicate. So if I put the glue on the stem to start, and this first flower and leaf, then it'll be a lot easier to glue the rest of it down, because I can literally just glue inside the flowers, right? And then this stem, and there'll be white flowers going over it, so don't worry if you get a little extra glue, like there. So then the white flower goes down. So let's continue adding the flowers. Oh, I think I said I was gonna pop dot that. Well, you know what? I'm gonna pop dot the white on the bottom. But I'm not gonna use a very large pop dot. I'm actually going to use these, which is actually scrapbooking dots. They're not as thick as the regular pop dots that I normally use. Nope, all right, that's not sticking. And this goes just like this. So remember, I'm also going to pop dot the pink onto the actual card. So let's add this white one here. And then I'm going to also pop dot the wing of the birdie. Now to add the feet, which I hope that when you cut this file, I always recommend speed of 3 and 65-pound paper. I find that it really cuts beautifully because it's actually pretty skinny. And this leg goes right here. So I put this leg on first. And then these little toes go over the branch. So because I popped dotted these whites and these are flat, I'm gonna put this one on as a pop dot. And then on the other side, I'll put them down flat. What I love about creating is there's no mistakes in art. It really can be anything that you as the crafter want to change. Maybe you want to change the card outline to be a darker pink as well, which might look really pretty. And then the bigger dot goes in the center here. And I'm just gonna put the glue dot down and then bring the dots over. For the happy birthday, this actually touches the edge of the card so that the bee sits on the bottom by the flower. And you might think, wow, that's kind of complicated to put down, but because it's all attached, I'm really just going to add the zig pen to pieces of it and drop it in gently. Because remember, nothing is hard, it's just patience. Most important, to have patience when putting stuff together and or being creative. I always have a funny story that I love to paint. I actually sell original artwork in my Etsy store, Christine Baldino Art at Etsy.com. And it's so often, as an artist, I look at the blank canvas and there's always that funny moment like, oh, the art should be finished already when I haven't even started. So really what I'm going to do is I'm going to come under where I said that letter, the B is going to come. And I'm going to come right down to where that should be and just press it down gently. And then for my I dot, just going to add a little right there. And there you have it. Happy birthday, Birdie. So I'm going to pop dot this onto the card that I cut out. But first I'm actually going to go right into putting together the adorable owls. So for this one, I'm going to build the owls because I want to pop dot the owls onto the blue base, and then I want to pop dot the blue base onto the card. So let's put these together first. His little feet and his beak. So I'm just going to actually use my zig pen. Sometimes I find it's easier to control where the glue goes. A glue stick can be a little bit too large, and that's my cat trying to eat the paper. He loves to smell everything. So I just try to humor him and let him smell everything. And then the light pink goes down first on the right-hand side owl. But I think in the video it would be on the left-hand side. I'm not sure. I know that sometimes I have to flop my video so that you receive it correctly. And everything fits right in, curve to curve. And his little beak, I'm going to use my tweezers. and his little feet, and you can see that the little curve goes into the little curve on his toes. And I think I'm gonna put the glue on here since it's an exact shape. Oh, and I just moved my hat. So, whoopsie. Let's pick this foot up. Okay. Oh, that was stuck to my hand and not to the paper. Okay, one down. So this guy. And his pink scarf goes down first. And then the dark pink or coral-ish color outline of the scarf. His beak. And again, the feet, I'm actually just going to put the glue down and then pop these on. And you can see that I used gray paper that had a little texture. Solid would work as well. A little darker gray if you prefer. I just sort of wanted it to be all very light and wintry. His beak actually slips right between his eyeballs. Right up in there, that corner to point. And then again with the feet, they just fit right into position. We're going to pop dot the owls to the blue base. Oh, there's the kitty again. I'm just going to cut a piece of this since it's the same. It's the same height. And you can see that I didn't add any color behind the eyeball holes. It is really the blue behind it is going to not only be visible, but it's also going to cast the shadow, so it'll look dark. So then putting it onto here, I'd really like to pop dot that. And I am going to use some Zot dots. Remember these fun things? So let's do one on each of these. These are so sticky. Oh my goodness, so sticky. And then while I'm here, I'm going to put half of this on either side as well. My instinct says it's gonna need it. All right, let's put it down onto the card. Look, so cute. Oops. Just gonna fix this side. And that's it. Add it to your cutout card. And I think I would just use the tape or a glue stick. I wouldn't pop dot it a third time. And if you do decide to pop dot it a third time, use some sort of protection over it if you're gonna mail it. If you're gonna just give it and gift it in a gift, then I think you're good to go with having the third pop dot. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and never miss a tutorial.